Hey Eugenia, it's Dustin. Yeah, I wanted to make you a video today about a subject that is just kind of difficult to talk about, but I wanted to talk about it, and it's something that's kind of shaped my life for many years. Many years. And I'm still working with it. And that's kind of what the physical problems that I deal with every day. I got kind of a tickle in my throat, so hopefully I hopefully I don't cough too much or whatever, But yeah. So I'm going to start this out when this began back in 2008. Back in 2008, I was having a lot of anxiety problems with some stuff that was going on in my life at the time, and I was trying to cope, just having a lot of problems, basically. Trying to function at work and just trying to function in general. What I did was, and I know a lot of people do this, I went to a psychiatrist. And I'm not sure how much you know about psychiatrists, but they give out prescription medications. They can give out antidepressants and tranquilizers and other kinds of stuff. They give out Ritalin, stuff like that for ADHD. People have hyper disorder. They give out all kinds of stuff for people struggling mentally. So that's kind of where the problem started. It's basically the psychiatrist I went for help about anxiety, and he says, oh, well, here's this medication called Klonopin. And he said, oh, this will help with your anxiety issue, And I asked him straight up, I said, is this safe to take, And he kind of just looked, it's safe, and I'm like, whew, well, that didn't sound too reassuring, But I'm like, oh, well, he's a psychiatrist, and, he knows what he's talking about, is basically what it was. So I started taking that medication, and within 6 days, all the muscles in my legs started to seize up and lock up, and it was so painful, and I'm trying to work, and I'm like, what is going on? I'd come home from work, I'd feel like I worked like 13 hours or something, because I was so exhausted, and my legs were killing me. They were so stiff I could hardly move them, So I'm just like, it just kind of went on like that for many days, until something else happened. Then I had all the muscles in my back start to seize up with horrible back pain, and I'm still dealing with the legs, and I'm like, dude, this is scary, and I'm starting to call in sick to work because I can't be there. I'm just in, a lot of pain, and I just can't function, Not to mention that I have anxiety problems like normally, as a normal person. And I've always had problems with fear of medical. I've always been like kind of a hypochondriac, worrying about medical stuff. I've always had that obsessive worry. So I keep going along, I try and go back to work. My parents are like, it's probably your mind, it's your anxiety or whatever. So I keep trying to go to work, and it just keeps getting worse to the point where all the muscles in my back, up at the top, my shoulders all start to seize up in my arms. And I remember that day at work. It was very terrifying. I didn't know what was going on. I started to have a panic attack, because, I couldn't hardly move my extremities very well, and I remember laying down there and some of the employees coming over, and they're like, well, we can get you to a hospital, and everything. But the thought of that was kind of scary, because I'm like, well, how can I trust anyone? I don't know what's going on, So, my hands were kind of like atrophied like this, like I couldn't open my hands, it was kind of scary, almost like a seizure. So, one of the managers took me to the emergency room and called my parents, and my mom came down and she was pretty freaked out, like what is going on. And I was there for like an hour. Hospitals just take a long time. I'm just sitting there, and my mom's like, well, I talked to this massage lady, and everything, and she's like, why don't you leave here, and the massage ladies, before you do that, and go and talk to one of these doctors, let me see if I can help you. So, I relented, and I'm like, okay, we'll go, I guess, I don't know what I was doing at that point. So, but things, I tried the massage lady, but the thing was, I was still taking the medication. I took it for 2.5 years, every single day. And that's kind of where the problem was. This is not a medication you take every day. This is a medication they give to people once in a while. So the doctor was, the psychiatrist, he screwed up big time. So I will never go to psychiatrists again. I hate them, it's been a very traumatic thing. So yeah, I got to the point where and I still deal with this, my jaw is so tight, it's hard to open and close my jaw and everything. It's tight around my head and all around here in the back and all down in my neck and everything. So it's this crushing tightness 24/7 that I deal with, and it makes it hard to function and do things. You can see behind me here, I have sheets on the window, and I have kind of a barrier there, and I have covers on the windows because the sun gives off EMF, electromagnetic frequency, and it bothers my muscles and nerves because my nerves are so sensitive from the injury. So I have things covered up to kind of help protect me and help me feel better. If I didn't have these covers on, things would get just so tight and painful I wouldn't be able to leave the house, which is scary. So even having these Christmas tree lights on are difficult. Light bulbs can be a problem. The longer light bulbs are on around me, the tighter things get. So it's hard. It's hard to look at phone screens because my face, it starts getting very tight, and just having the phone on is a difficulty. So I deal with these similar problems kind of everywhere. So, and it's stressful, and I never know what's going to bother me and stuff like that. So I made some notes here. Yeah, so basically I did research online. I started around 2.5 years when I was taking this medication, and I started researching like what could be the problem, and then I just decided to type in the name of the med that I was taking, Klonopin, and then these problems, and these websites came up because it's called a benzodiazepine drug, and it's a tranquilizer. So it's for people that have seizures and stuff like that. So it's like anti-seizure medication, but for me it did the opposite. It seized me up. So, because I have I'm just a sensitive person by nature, so I'm very sensitive to stuff like medications and stuff. So I found online with some research what was the problem was, and I found other forums online with thousands of other people who have been injured by the same medication. So there is a big call right now to recall this drug because it's just dangerous. So yeah, it's scary, but it's like, I don't know, I've gotten help from a naturopath, because those are the only people I feel comfortable going to right now. So I go to she's called a functioning MD, and functional medicine is holistic medicine and natural stuff. So I see her and she helps monitor my blood levels. I usually get a blood test like every, usually twice a year to check vitamin levels and stuff like that. And she's helped me with stuff. She lives in LA, so my mom and me, and we all kind of help do this virtual thing where, because her practice is down there in LA, and she kind of helps me here. Her name is Nicole. Really nice lady, and she's really good at what she does. So she has helped with many things, but I still deal with this chronic tightness. And that's also why I have to stretch every day. So, and it's tiring. I just got done stretching right now. It takes me like an hour and 15 minutes because I have to rest a lot in between each stretch. And if I don't do the stretches, the tightness will get so insane I won't be able to move or like do anything. So I have to stretch every day, and I don't want to. So yeah, dealing with the stretching is not fun. And that's kind of leads me to like, now I've been seeing also a therapist, and this therapist person has helped, quite a bit too with the trauma of everything that I've gone through and that I still go through. Some intuition about a year and a half ago told me, find a therapist, like a counselor that you go and talk to that can help you. And this person is a specialist in trauma, and they know how to deal with trauma, and they've actually gone through it themselves. So they've helped me with that. It's been hard because it's hard to bring up traumatic things and events from the past, but it's kind of necessary to help my healing and help me move forward. So yeah, I've been working with them, and I've also, as of recently, because it took me a while to get off of the drug. So I've had these symptoms for 16 years. I have been drug free from that Klonopin drug for almost 13 and a half years. And it can take various lengths of time for everybody depending on your body type, of how long. Some people can recover in a couple years, some people 6 months. This one guy that I found online who's gone through what I've gone through, which is called protracted withdrawal, which means a long time. It took him 12 years to finish. I am coming up on 13 and a half years, and I would really love to finish this. And I thought that I'm going to try some things, and my parents agree too, and so does my naturopath physician, Nicole. She agrees. I haven't tried a massage, like getting deep tissue massage, ever since, I was on the drug years ago. So I'm like, well, maybe it will help loosen things slowly over, a little bit. So I'm doing a massage therapist person that I'm going to be seeing again. I did it this last time, and it seemed to help a little. So I'm hoping that each time I do it, it helps it more and more, So I'm going to keep trying the massage therapist, and I'm going to try some other things like an osteopath. My mom has seen an osteopath before, and they do all kinds of mind-body balancing. They do some body work, they do nutritional work, so I'm thinking of seeing that person in January or February or something like that. So yeah, and yeah, I don't know, I'm just gonna try some things, you know. A lot of people say the only thing that will fix this is time, how long it takes for your nerve receptors to repair themselves, you know, because the nerves, they make your muscles function. So when your nerves are all messed up and they're not signaling correctly, it causes the muscles to spasm and do weird things. So, because that's what the drug did. The drug, Klonopin, targeted my nervous system, which targets the muscles, you know, because it's anti-seizure. Seizures are all about muscle seizing, so yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what the story that I'm dealing with it, Eugenia. So yeah, I hope nothing in there was triggering for you. I know these kind of videos can be triggering for people, you know. So yeah, I try and go out as much as I can too. Going out in the sunlight is so hard because being in the sun, my muscles get tighter and tighter, and my nerves start burning and hurting, and I start seeing flashes of light. And then it takes hours or sometimes days for things to calm down. I don't know, still, my parents and I don't know why I'm still having this sunlight problem. So it's hard to go outside, and it's hard to travel anywhere. So the furthest I've been is Coos Bay, which was what, last year? That was like 3 hours north here in Oregon. So that's the farthest I've been in like 11 years. I haven't been able to get on a plane or drive, you know, to even Portland. That's about a 4.5 hour drive, because it just, the longer I'm out and stimulated with noise and stuff going on like cars, sun, my muscles get so tight and painful, and I get so stiff, I start like shaking, and I have to be and sit in a dark, you know, quiet room for quite a while for things to settle down. So yeah, I just want to make progress so bad, you know. My faith, you know, in God and everything has really helped spiritually throughout this whole thing. So I've done a lot of that. A lot, daily, every day. So yeah, keep trying to have faith. But anyway, so it's about 18 minutes, so I'll just end this video here. If you have any questions, you can always, you know, message me and ask me anything you want. So yeah. But it's been lots of rain and wind, very stormy and cold and snow, and there's more coming. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy here lately with the weather. Lots of storm action. So, but I like the fresh, wet air. It smells good. It's fresh. It's cool. So, but anyway, happy Thanksgiving, Eugenia, and I hope you're doing good. And I love you lots. And I'm giving you some kisses and sending you hugs too. So I hope you have a good day or a good night, and I will see you in my next video. I have an idea I'm going to be doing for you in December for another video. So yeah, that should be cool. But anyway, love you, and I'll see you in my next video.